Hello, girls. Hello, Vermonters. I'd like to talk to you with some good news. I'd like to tell you something anecdotally about yourselves. On this beautiful April, is it 20th? 22nd? 21st? At any rate, anecdotally, I have to say that last week at Vermont Liberty Network, I received an email that used the N-word. I was called an N-lover, and the person asked to unsubscribe to our list. Now, since I started out running for office and putting this group together, I've always feared that some of these supposed threatening Nazis or right-wing conservative hate groups would come out and align with me or otherwise try to bring their message into our conservative message. And that hasn't happened. In fact, I haven't met any Nazis. I met a guy a couple of years ago up in the kingdom who started talking that way against Jewish people, and I explained to him that I was of Jewish heritage and I didn't have any tolerance for any kind of racism, and he stopped. But other than that person, till this person last week, who I was glad to unsubscribe, I haven't had a single person say that. So here's what I want to say about you. I've spent almost 2 years on the campaign trail, writing, emailing, talking to people. I have met hundreds, thousands, easily thousands of Vermonters, and at rallies and events, sometimes many hundreds, and not one person in our conservative group, mine and ours, not one person has ever made a racial comment or disparaging racist remark in that whole time. And I am proud of my Vermont family and friends and neighbors of that. And that got me reflecting further that our daughter, who grew up in the Northeast Kingdom, never heard the N-word until she was 9. And she came and she said, "Daddy, what's the N-word mean?" Now, I'm not patting myself on the back for never using a word in our household that we shouldn't have used. I'm really happy that the entire community of Barton, Vermont had never exposed her to that word, because she heard it in Albany, New York, by some really punk black kids on a train who were really foul-mouthed and horrible. And I was really, it's too bad she has to learn words like that, but I guess kids do. But she didn't learn it from racists, did she? These Vermont racists, where are they? I think they're on the left. I think people on the left who want to categorize everything based on race and allocate money and privilege and condemn people based on race are racist. And they should come to a Vermont Liberty Network meeting and learn about the Constitution and about the efforts to dissolve those kinds of boundaries so that we have total equality, rather than evoke subjective insinuations of racism to say that everyone's always going to be racist. You're conditioning people to be racist. The other time I thought about it, I did hear the N-word another time in the kingdom, when my son was called the N-word by another kid's parent, because my first son is quite BIPOC, thank you. But we taught him about their ignorance. And in that whole time of growing up in the kingdom and hanging out with white kids in the kingdom, that's the only time that ever happened. Would we say that the entire Northeast Kingdom and all of Vermont is racist because of a couple of comments? Or would we say, on balance, that we've been moving in the right direction until this new racism came along? Vermonters, you're not racist. Don't let people tell you you're racist simply because you're white or you don't have a right to say anything else. This is absurd, and it's just not true. So I think we should tell them what is true, which is this is a wonderful state. And I have a lot of black friends from Vermont, and some I've had for 40 years now. But here in Vermont, I have met many black people who said this has been the most tolerant, wonderful place that they've ever lived. I'm sorry that any black people have a different experience than that, but I could put people up here right now to say what I just said. Alice Flanders says so. Why don't they want to hear her opinion? Why don't the liberal media pick out her opinion in selecting the anecdotal opinions of those who have something negative to respond to, to report? I know what the big report is, and you do too. So thanks for joining me and my girls as we all get ready for spring. Thank you. Vermont is a wonderful place. Let's rejoice in our culture and our heritage and who we are. Thanks. Have a great day.